All right, matrices. I can't believe you guys didn't remind me to record this. Good. It's winking, blinking, and nodding. All right. Matrices. A matrice looks like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3. We're going to learn how to solve that matrice. We'll never use it again. No. I did. I put it in different numbers, but that's okay. What this matrice is, if I was going to write this out as equations, this would be 2x plus 4y equals 5, and 3x plus 5y equals 3. Go ahead. Write that down. All right. All I did is I put my x in front of this. I put my y here, x here, y here for each one of them. And I set them equal to what those numbers were in there. So if I was going to reverse this around and I was going to give you two equations, we could go the opposite direction. Now, if I wanted to solve these equations, I'd do it through elimination. I'm not going to go ahead and do this one because, well, I can. I'd multiply this one by 3 and this one by 2, right? And if I solve this, this would be 6x plus 12y. Why not? Write it down. Equals 15. And this one here is 6x plus 10y equals 6. All right? If I was to subtract these, 2y equals 9, y equals 4.5. If I put that back in here, I could figure out what my x was. What is it? Well, let's see. If I put it back into this one here, put 4.5 in there, that would be 16, 18. I'd subtract that over. That would be a, minus 13. So 2x equals minus 13. X would equal minus 6.5. Well, I just solved this through elimination, right? Let's take a look at this. You guys have this written down?
No, you touch it, I'm not running
out. Good? All right. Let's take a look at how this would work. Let's take a look how this would work with using a matrice. All right? Same thing. Now, here's what you need to do. You need to get this one and this one right here equal to 1. You need to get those angled ones to 1, and then this one right here, I hate it when it happens.
What are you doing? I'm out.
What did it do there? What were the numbers? What were the numbers? Give me that. Was it 2? 2 and 3? Wow, that was weird. Anyway, we need to get these two to 1 right here, and then these two over here. I wonder if green works. Nope, green doesn't work. Don't screw me up. Oh, it did. These two to 0. So this ends up being a 0, and that has to be a 0. All right? Put this out in front. So let's do this. We do the same as what we did with the equations. We multiplied this one because I'm going to try and get this to 0 right here, right? So I'm going to multiply the top row by 3 and the bottom row by 2. If I multiply this through, I do my matrices. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. Then we have to do this, 15 and 6. Right? Now I'm going to subtract. Subtract. So this case here, I'm going to subtract the 2. Would I ever add them? Sure, if I had a negative number in here, I'd add them, right? So I can add or subtract. Whatever I can do to make this 0 right here. So I'm going to subtract this out. So I'm going to rewrite this again. 6. Actually, what I'm going to do here, I better not do that. I'm going to confuse you guys. 6, 12, 15. What, I just rewrote that line down again. All right. Now I'm going to subtract this. 6 minus 6 is 0. 12 minus 2 is 2. 15 minus 6 is 9. Now here's another rule you can use in this. I can turn around and I can divide this through by 2 if I wanted to. Just like I did on here where I multiplied this one by 3, I can divide it by 3 again. So let's rewrite it. If I divide this one by 3 and I divide this one by 2, I'm going to come up with 2, 4, 5. Notice it's the same line as what I did up here before I divided through. And this one here is going to come up with 0, 1. That's what I want. I want a 1 there. And then 4.5. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? If I don't want to work with fractions, yeah, eventually you will. Anyway, we can leave it like this too because it would be easier to work with here, isn't it? Yep. So let's slide this over a little bit. Yeah. All right. Let's take this one up here now. Let's do a... Oh, now what do we want to do next? We're going to want to get this 4 to a 0. So I'm going to multiply the bottom by 2, right? To be able to solve equations. Actually, this here, you can put this on a graphing calculator, and it would solve it for you, basically. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to rewrite this top line. Well, actually, no, I'm going to rewrite the bottom line. 0, 2, and 9. All right. Oh, that isn't what I want to do either. I want 4 and 18 here because I'm multiplying them by 2. Was it confusing when we did it in pre-calc? Yeah. 2, 4. What's that? Yes, that's right. You were supposed to teach this. All right. Here, you got to put this on. You got to put that on.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, this feels like it's going to fall off. It's my mixtape. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we times it by 2. It's the bottom. And now we want to get that, the 4 over there to 0. So we just minus, like we did before.
Okay, what do we come up with?
Put it down here. Okay. So 2 minus 0 is still 2. 4 minus 4 is 0. So can you rewrite these? Yeah. Okay. So then 5 minus 18. Yeah. You guys are supposed to be answering that. So I asked you. Oh, okay. Okay, now what do you want?
Now
the zeros that we wanted. Now we need to get that to 1, and we need to get this to 1.
How would you get that to 1?
Just divide this by 2.
Divide by 2 there.
So that equals 1, and then divide by 4 down here. So then that'd be 1, 0, 0, 1. 2 divided by 13. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, what am I doing here? Then 18 divided by 4 is? Yeah, 4.5. And that's our X and Y. Oh, sure.
This is working with matrices, all right? Let's try this. We're going to try this with another one because we need this. What's that? All right, I'm going to give you, guys, get out a sheet of paper. Get out a sheet of paper and do this with me. All right? Or you don't have to get out, just have a sheet of paper you can work on with me. Let's try 2x plus y equals 10. Let's say that x minus y equals 2. All right, guys, 2x plus y equals 10 and x minus y equals 2. Put it into a matrix form. Go ahead and do that right now. On your paper, put it in the matrix form. Put it in the matrix form. Something that looks like this. Katie, you getting this? All right. You got it written in there? Okay, you got your 2 in your 10 and a 2. Now put a 2 and a 1, and then a 1 and a negative 1. So here's what it looked like. I'd bring my 2 down and bring my 1, and I put my 10 here. All right. I would put my 1 here. I'd put a negative 1 there. Yeah. And then a 2 there. Okay. Now, I want to get rid of, guys, hey, Nick, I want to get rid of this one here and this one here because those need to be 0. Those diagonals need to be 0. What do I need to do to get rid of this one here? Anything but pi. Times by 2, right? Times this one by 2. Times 2. So let's rewrite it out. 2, 1, 10. And then 2, negative 2, and 4. All right? What's the next thing we need to do, Preston? Take a look at, we need to make this a 0, this corner is 0, and this corner is 0. Not divide by 2. Subtract it. Subtract by 2, right? So I'm going to write down my top one again. 2, 1, 10. And then I'm going to subtract. Now notice what I do. I'm going to subtract I'm going to go 2 minus 2, but I'm putting my result down here. Okay, so 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 2 is minus 3. And 10 minus 4 is 6. Notice I subtracted from here, but I'm putting my results right down here in this bottom one. All right? take a look at what we do next here. Notice I want to make this one 0, right? This one up here 0 next. But I can look at this. What if I divided through by a -3? I could make this, if I divided through by a -3, I could make this bottom row 1. So, yep, 2, 1, 10, and then I'd divide through by a -3 here. It'd be 0, 1, -2. Notice how I made it easier for myself. Okay? Now I can subtract, can't I? Now if I go to the next one, I can up here, or I can just subtract these two. But now this time here, I'm going to subtract this one from this one, Fletcher. This one from this one, but I'm going to put the results up here. That's where the results are going to go. Okay? So I would go 2 minus 0 is 2, right? 1 minus 1 is 0. And then I have 10 minus a -2, so that would be a +2, which would be 12. Okay? Right? Then I could put my 0, 1, -2. Now what's my next thing I got to do? Right from this one to this one? I just subtracted. I went 2 minus 0 gives me my 2 up here. So this minus this gives you that 2. 1 minus a 1 gives you that 0. All right, now I look at the top here and I say, well, divide this one by 2, right? If I divide this one by 2, right here, it's going to put a 1 there, isn't it, Preston? And that's what I want, isn't it? So I would go 1, 0, divide this by 2 would be 6, 0, 1, -2. I've got my answers to this original problem. I know now if this is my x and this is my y, my x equals 6, my y equals a -2. That's it. You just solved the equation. You didn't get none of that? Fletcher's concerned about somebody getting hurt. All right. Let me give you one. I think that's what they're worried about. All right, let me grab one here. Let me grab one. Four x plus 3y equals 6. Negative x minus y equals -1. I would, because it's part of your assignment. Part of your assignment. So let's create a matrix first. All right, make the matrix. Got the matrix made? Why a negative 1? This one? Minus. All right. Which corners do I have to make 0, Reese? Which ones? Which, this negative 1? This negative 1 or that one? That one? Or that one? This one? This one. And this one. All right. All right, so if I have to make it negative 1, what do I have to do? What's the first thing I have to do here? I'm going to have to get this one and this one at least the same numbers. One could be negative, the other one could be positive, but at least they have to be the same numbers. So what do I want to do? Times it times 4, Preston. What? If I multiply this times 4, right? 4. Now I'm going to just multiply it times 4. So now it becomes 4, 3, 6, and it becomes a negative 4, negative 4, and negative 4. Right? When I multiply each one of these by negative 4, right, it's going to become negative 4, negative 4, negative 4. Now, what do I do? Well, just add it. Add it and put the results in the second row. Add it and put the results in the second row. So, we can write down this top row again. And now we can add these two rows and we can put the results in the second row. 4 minus 4 is 0. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 6 minus 4 is, why would you do that to me? 2. Look what it did. I'd say it really got out of hand. I'm going to rewrite this puppy. I don't know why I would do that. 4, 3, 6. And I'm adding it so it'd just be like minusing it. Okay? So I'd go 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and 6 minus 4 is 2. So, now what I want to do. Which one do I want to make 0 next, Fletcher? That's okay. Preston? Fletcher, you know which one we have to make 0 next?
Yep.
Which one? 3. Got to make this one 0 next. So what would I do? What would I do next? I'd multiply this bottom by 3, right? Okay, 3 times 0 is 0. 4, 3, 6. So it'd be 0, negative 3, 6, right? See how I got that, Preston? Next thing I'd do. Preston, what would I do next? Well, I'd add it. Yeah. All right, so, and where would I put my results? On the top row, right? Okay, so 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. Yeah, because there's a minus in it. And then 6 plus 6 is 12. 0 minus 3, 6. What do I need to do next, Nikki? Make them ones, right? We'd have to make this one, and we're going to have to make this one. So what would I do to it, Preston, to make those ones? Divide by 4 here. And then what do we do on the next one? What? Divide by 3. By negative 3 or 3? Negative 3. By negative 3. So if we rewrote this out, this would be, 4 divided by 4 is 1. Attaboy. 0. And this would be Divided by 4 would be 3, huh? Not 4. And then the bottom by -3 would be 0, 1, -2. What would be my x value, Katie? What's my x and what's my y, Katie? What's it? Here's where x is, but this is the answer for x. X would be 3. And what would be my y, Reese? -2. You guys rock. You guys get it? This is the first problem on your assessment. You've got... Oh, actually, no. That was the 7th problem. Here's what I want you to do. On I believe it's the 2nd assessment. I'm going to clear this puppy. I lost where I'm at. Let's see here. Come here. Bar. All right, all I want you to do is on the 2nd assessment. The second one, there's 2 of them out there. There's a 361 and there's a 362. I just want you to do these 3. Now, I've already done 1 for you, so you've got 8 and 9 to do. All right?